All right, let's get the book of Proverbs, chapter 5, verse 8 to 14. Proverbs, chapter 5, verse 8 to 14. Remove thy way far from her, and come not nigh the door of her house. Is that it?
Keep reading, yes.
Verse 9. Lest thou give thine honor unto others, and thy years unto the cruel.
So that's the Psalm, Solomon talking and saying to his son, don't go in her ways, talking about an adulterous woman, right? If you do that, if you decide to go find yourself a strange woman, you're going to give all your years to the cruel, right? Because then your years will, meaning all your efforts, all your money, resources will go to the strangers. Read on, to the cruel, to those that don't like you. Read on.
Verse 10. Lest strangers be filled with thy wealth.
That's right. You shouldn't marry strangers. And this is even among white people. If you marry into their family and they got money, they're going to kick that daughter out or that son out because you ain't going to come get their wealth. Right? Read on.
Lest strangers be filled with thy wealth.
Right? Read on.
And thy labor be in the house of a stranger.
Thy labor is in the house of a stranger. Like Kobe Bryant, all his money now is in the house of the strangers. Read on.
Verse 11. And thou mourn at the last when thy flesh and thy body are consumed.
Now you're going to mourn at the last and you're going to start crying. Read on.
And say, how have I hated instruction?
Have I hated what?
Instruction.
Have I hated instruction? Why did I hate instructions? Read on.
And my heart despised reproof.
Why did I hate this reproof when brothers were telling me, don't marry the strangers? Why didn't I listen? Now look at me. All that I work for, I marry a white woman, she divorced me, the court give her everything that I have. How many times that happens in our community?
Let's get back to the book of Proverbs, chapter 5, verse 13.
Go ahead.
Proverbs, chapter 5, verse 13. And have not obeyed the voice of my teachers, nor incline mine ear to them that instructed me.
Read on.
And I was almost in all evil in the midst of the congregation and assembly.
This guy, he was in the assembly, in the congregation, but he was in all type of evil. So being here doesn't guarantee, someone can be here, they're still in all kind of wickedness. It's no guarantee you walk in here that you're going to find a good sister or a good brother. Because this guy said, I was in the congregation, but I was in the midst of all kind of evil. Right? And I was learning. It's not that he wasn't learning. He was learning, but he didn't listen to his teachers. He do whatever he wanted to do. He wasn't applying. So it really doesn't matter you wearing them fringes. If you're not changing, that's a problem. Right? And then later on, you're going to be like, why didn't I listen to Minister Isha? He had a class about that. Too late. I always say to Minister Yokan, there's two ways people learn. What are the two ways? I always talk. Experience. Everyone I talk to, I always say, there's two ways people learn. Either you get it through instruction or you go the hard way, experience. There's a guy you tell him, don't go to the army. And he don't want to listen, right? You tell him this is what's going on in the army and stuff. Then when he come back, he come with a leg missing. Right. you got your experience, right? You know, what do you think now? Or you come out with PTSD. Did you learn some? I'm sure you did. But too late now. That's the problem with experience. It's either you go by instruction or experience, but experience is a little harsher. It's unforgiving. It's ruthless. Right? You're going to learn the hard way now. Right? So now, that being said, this lesson that in Proverbs we learn is not only talking about women, it's in every single aspect. When we teach, we bring out, don't be a forgetful hearer. That everything we teach you come from one ear, it goes to the next. Again, that's called self-sabotage. We like to say that. Many people are learning just to forget, ever learning but never retain anything. The evidence is by observation. You can see all their life decisions are not aligned with what's being taught. This is also a self-sabotage. Today we will show you steps to take to not be a forgetful hearer and not live in regrets. So today we're not just going to condemn you. We'll do a little bit. But we will also show you how not to forget. Hopefully you don't forget what we're about to teach you on how not to forget. If you're done, if you forget. All right. Get me the book of James 1 verse 25. James 1 and 25.
Let's get the book of James, chapter 1, verse 25.
Go ahead, bring it out.
James, chapter 1, verse 25.
Uh-huh.
But whoso look into the perfect law of liberty and continue therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed.
There we go. If you continue in the law of liberty, because the law sets you free from sin and a bunch of right now, we are about to save 15 or more on Christmas. That's what we call the law of liberty. We're free from this wickedness. All right?
Big con.
So this is how the law is the law of liberty. But if you continue in it, you're not a forgetful hearer, but be a doer of the work. This man shall be blessed in all his deeds. And everything you do, your house will be blessed. That extra money you were going to spend on Christmas is going to be going towards some more productive. Right? So this is what it is when you're not a forgetful hearer. When you don't come here, you just forget. You just learn some and leave out of the door. You forget everything now it's taught. Right? You will be blessed. So there's a blessing directly attached to you not forgetting and be a doer. Not forgetting and be a doer. Get me Romans 2 verse 13 right quick.
Let's get the book of Romans, chapter 2, verse 13.
Go ahead.
For not the hearers of the law are just before the Most High.
Read on.
But the doers of the law shall be justified.
Okay, so now here's one thing. A lot of time we may say, I didn't forget, I just take the wrong decision. That's the same as being forgetful. Listen, when we're teaching you those things, it's for you to go ahead in the world and make us proud. It makes me proud when I see a brother make the right choice, because I'm like, man, the hours I spent preparing lessons at 3 a.m., they're not lost. So when you see the students is flourishing, you're like, man, yes. You're like happy. Like, look at my brother go, man. He's married, his family is good. I'm like, yes, my work is not in vain. So this is how you can make me proud, but even more, the Most High more proud. Right? Because the Most High does not put the Spirit in us to do the work. The Most High is even more proud. Right? But you have to take those lessons and go in the world, make right choice, do the right thing. You understand? For yourself, for the nation. Right? So not the hearer shall be justified, but the doers. So in your actions, it will show if you forgot or not. You can't say, man, I didn't forget, but I just decided that. Nah, you forgot. Because if you didn't forget, you do exactly what the instruction is. Get me the book of Psalm 78, verse 5 through 7. Because the Most High wants us to remember those words. Psalm 78, verse 5 through 7.
Let's get the book of Psalm, chapter 78, verse 5 to 7.
Go ahead.
For he established a testimony in Jacob.
Right, read on.
And appointed a law in Israel.
Read on.
Which he commanded our fathers, that they should make them known to their children.
Go ahead.
That the generation to come might know them, even the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children.
Right, read on.
Verse 7, that they might set their hope in the Most High, and not forget the works of the Most High, but keep his commandments.
That's the whole point. The Most High don't want us to forget those things. In fact, we need to pass it down. So that being said, when a child is raised in a broken home, they're broken children. So that's why we have what's going on here. The previous generation was broken, and now we're even more broken. So we're not only living for ourselves, we're living for the future generations. So we have to teach them that they don't forget what we taught them. The reason why our people behave that way is because there was a cut-off moment where they didn't want us to read and write. So thus, we couldn't pass on our knowledge to our children, and now we forget who we are. We're telling our people, you're Israelite. They're like, man, what? Man, I ain't no Israelite. I'm black. Bro, you're not black. Okay? There's no nation called black.
Let's get the book of Psalm, chapter 80,
3 verse 2.
3 verse 2.
Read on.
It says, For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up the head.
Go ahead.
They have taken crafty counsel against thy people, and consulted against thy hidden ones.
What they said.
They have said, Come, and let us cut them off from being a nation,
That's right.
that the name of Israel be no more in remembrance.
That's what happened to us. They cut us off from being a people. They took our culture away. They took our knowledge away. They took our God away. They took our Bible away. They took everything away from us, so now we can forget who we are. That's the whole point. So this is why they don't want us to pass that knowledge forward, because they can dominate us once we know who we are. Let's go back to Deuteronomy 4, verse 23 and 31.
Chapter 4, verse 23. Take heed unto yourselves, lest you forget the covenant of the Most High thy power, which he made with you, and make you a graven image.
Don't forget, because when you forget, the result is that you're going to go back to white Jesus. The result is you're going to go back to graven images. Read on.
Take heed unto yourselves, lest ye forget the covenant of the Most High thy power, which he made with you, and make you a graven image, or the likeness of anything which is the Most High thy power has, which the Most High thy power has forbidden thee.
Go ahead, read on.
For the Most High thy God is a consuming fire, even a jealous God.
That's what happens to us. When you forget, the Most High will consume you. Read on.
When thou shalt beget children, and children's children, and ye shall have remained long in the land, and shall corrupt yourselves, and make a graven image, or the likeness of anything, and shall do evil in the sight of the Most High thy power, to provoke him to anger.
Read on.
I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day, that ye shall soon utterly perish from off the land, whereunto ye go over Jordan to possess it.
Right, so that's what happened when you forget. Right? When you forget and your children's forget, then the Most High will come against you. Read on.
Ye shall not prolong your days upon it, but shall utterly be destroyed.
And that's what happened to us. Read on.
And the Most High shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither the Most High thy power shall lead you.
It's not because we won't have a lot of people. We have a lot of our people. When it says few, meaning few of you that understand. Right? It's very few of you that will understand what's going on. Read on.
Verse 28. And there ye shall serve gods, the work of man's hand, wood and stone, which neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell.
You see that? That's what happened when you forget your God. Now you'll go among the nations. Only few of you will understand, but the rest of you, you'll be worshiping white Jesus that can't help you. That is helpless. You'll be going to go kiss Kaaba stones, where everybody go kiss, doing nonsense, worshiping, being in Islam and all kind of religion.
What is that?
Right? In all kind of religion that can't really help you. Okay, read on.
Verse 29. But if from thence thou shalt seek the Most High thy power, thou shalt find him. If thou shalt seek him with all thy heart and with all thy soul, when thou art in tribulation, and then all these things are come upon thee, even in the latter days, if thou turn to the Most High thy power, and shall be obedient unto his voice.
There we go. You see, the Most High is still a very compassionate power. And he knew, like everything you see that's happening to our people, the Most High already knew it, man. The Most High already prophesied what's going to happen to us. You know, we are a blessed and chosen generation that the Most High revealed this truth unto us, man. Because the Most High said in the latter days, in the last days, we will return. And if we return with our whole heart, right, he's going to have compassion on us. Can? Right? If we now start remembering, like we say in 1 Kings 8, if you bethink yourself, meaning if you start remembering and start facing Jerusalem and pray, then the Most High will have compassion on you. Right? Read on.
He says, for the Most High thy power is a merciful God. He will not forsake thee, neither destroy thee, nor forget the covenant of the fathers which he swear unto them.
That's the thing with men. We forget, but the Most High never forget. He never forget he made a covenant with our forefathers.
Made a deal.
He made a deal with your forefathers. If we return, that's what. Guess what? He didn't forget you. The Most High never forgot us. We forgot the Most High. So that's why when we come here to learn, we cannot forget what we're learning. You're not coming here to waste time. You're coming here to learn so you can return to the Most High. So now we're going to show you a couple of ways to not forget the word. Get me Deuteronomy 11, verse 18, 20. That will also help you memorize scriptures, because a lot of you say, man, I can't memorize all these scriptures. So we will help you know how to memorize these scriptures and what you can do. So pay good attention. Deuteronomy 11, 18, 20.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 11, verse 18 to 20.
Go ahead.
Therefore, shall ye lay up these my words in your heart.
You will lay my words in your heart. You're going to make sure the word gets in your heart. You memorize it. Memorize it. That's the only, like in Haiti, I used to say, you better come here and tell me that lesson by heart. I mean, you better memorize it, right? You need to memorize it. That's the key here. That's how you don't forget. You memorize. Read on.
Verse 18, therefore, shall ye lay up these my words in your heart and in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon your head, and they may be as frontlets between your eyes.
Right. So now it says you're going to bind them for a sign upon your hands. Now, when we look at the word signs in the Hebrew, it means to join together, knit, tie. In the imperfect word for bind, the word kashar, also mean bind on as an ornament. What is that? It was a bead. Our people used to use beads. Yes, I know the Catholic Church have those beads, those prayer beads. Well, that come from the Bible. It's not belong to Catholics. And there's nothing evil about beads, unless you go get you a beads dedicated to Buddha or have cross on them. Right? We used to study using beads to memorize. That's the sign we have on our hands. Now, if you don't believe we have to have beads, let's go to Proverbs 6:20. I'm going to show you what that sign was. So the beads allow us, like let's say you got one verse, you recite it. Once you finish, you do the beads. If you have a beads that have 200 beads, you go around circle. You recite that same verse 200 times. And by the time you finish doing that, trust me, it's going to be in your mind. Even when you sleep, it's going to be in your heart. We used to use beads, right? Get that. Proverbs 6:20 and 21.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 20, 21. The book of Proverbs, chapter 6, verse 20. My son, keep thy father's commandment, and forsake not the law of thy mother. Bind them continually upon thine heart, and tie them about thy neck.
Tie them about thy neck. So usually what would have is a 613 bead. Literally around our neck. We put it and we literally study using those beads. So you don't have to have 613, but any beads you can use. If you have 613, that's good. But the beads, but you can use beads to memorize verses, to memorize it's not, people use them for prayers, Catholic, but it was basically use them to remember the word, to memorize the word, right? That's what we also use for meditation, right? So next time you see a brother with a bead, there's nothing wrong with beads. It's just something you use. There's nothing special in the beads. It's not going to make your prayer answered, right? It's no power in the beads. It's just used to memorize scriptures. It was just a tool, right? So the first thing is going to be a sign upon your hand. So a lot of people used to wrap it around their hands too, right? So it's a sign upon your hand. Those are the beads. I know we overlooked these verses, but today we're going to break it down. Right? It's going to be a sign upon your head that there may be a frontlet between your eyes.
You can see they have a little black box.
Right. Them Jewish got a little black box on their head. You know, a lot of them, sometimes you guys see them. But that's not what it's talking about, right? The frontlets. According to ChatGPT, what I found was it was more like a head ornament or a token rather than a storage box, right? So we would write Yahweh on it, on the frontlets. Like the women, sometimes we wear them. The frontlets fall here, and he have some kind of verse or some kind of name on there. Okay, that's what he's talking about. But in doing Babylon, after Babylon, our people, it's not Jewish. Jewish didn't come up with that. Our people after Babylon, they start, doing a little box put on their head with verses on there. Yeah. So this is why Mashiach talk about the phylacteries, where the Pharisees have larger phylacteries. That's talking about the box. They would put huge boxes. That's the style of the day Negroes working out with large boxes on their head. Right? But what Moses was talking about was some kind of jewelry or something frontlets, ornaments that show the name of the Most High, oftentimes a commitment or something of that sort. So we will use the law as a frontlet, meaning your jewelry you put on you have to have some kind of commitment.
Verse 19, and ye shall teach them your children, speaking of them, when they sit in thine house. And
right. So that's another way you're going to remember them. When you sit in your house, when you sit, instead of having joke, talking nonsense, when you sit, you're going to be talking about them laws. Read on.
Speaking of them when thou sit in thine house, and when thou walk by the way, and when thou lie down, and when thou rise up. Verse 20, and thou shalt write them upon the doorpost of thine house,
read
and
on.
upon thy gates.
There we go. So this is how you're not going to forget. You got beads, you got frontlets, you got to sit down. When you in the car talking, you got to be talking about them laws. You traveling, you sit down, you walking, talking about them laws. That's how they're not going to forget it. Put it in their heads and write them upon the doorposts of thine house and upon thy gates. Meaning when I get to your house, I should see commitments. I should see laws. You should, go on Temu, print something, some frame. They're cheap.
Right.
Put them on your doorpost. Put them in your house. That's how you're not going to forget the law of the Most High. Surround yourself with the commitments.
The book of Joshua, chapter 1, verse 8.
Read on.
The book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth.
Read on.
But thou shalt meditate therein day and night.
Right.
That thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous.
Right. There's an audio book called The Way of the Pilgrim. Very good audio book. Although the guy was Catholic, but he wanted to know the answer to what does that mean to pray without ceasing. And nobody could really explain it. How do you pray without ceasing? When I'm sleeping, how do I pray without ceasing? Then finally he found a man that told him that he have to use the beads. And the beads, the more you keep repeating it, he used to repeat that 5,000 times. 5,000 circle, basically. He had a beat 200. He do that 5,000 times a day. Then eventually what he started realizing, even when he's sleeping, he's still saying those things in his mind. His mind was really filled with the law. So the book is called The Way of the Pilgrim. You can, look it up on YouTube, audio book, and listen to it in your car. So it's a very intriguing book. But when the Most High say the book of the law will not depart from thy mouth, you'll meditate day and night. It doesn't mean you're going to sit there and meditate then. It means literally memorize it to the point where even when just like sometimes you listen to some music, even when you're praying, it comes to your mind. Or even when you're sleeping, the music is in your mind. It's the same way. Find a way. The beat's going to help you meditate. You got to do it so much that it's in your heart, it's in your mind. Even when you're thinking, when you're talking, when you're sleeping, it's going to be there speaking in your mind because you memorize it so much. Now, the next way we can memorize the law and not forget, get me Deuteronomy 31, verse 19.
Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 19. Now therefore, write ye this song for you, and teach it to the children of Israel. Put it in their mouths, that this song may be a witness for me.
There we go. The Most High commanded to turn the law into songs. It's not just reciting. Turn it into songs and teach the children the songs about the Shabbat day. You turn the law into songs. You have to turn it into songs, and this is going to be a way to memorize the law, right? So those are cues I'm giving you on how to remember it. Next, Numbers 15:38. We all know that one. Who knows what is Numbers 15:38?
Fringes.
You wear your fringes. That's another way to remember the laws and the commandments, Right? Deuteronomy 15:38 and 39.
The book of Numbers, chapter 15, verse 38.
Read on.
Speak unto the children of Israel, and bid them that they make fringes in the borders of their garments throughout their generations,
Go ahead.
and that they put upon the fringe of the borders a ribbon of blue.
Go ahead.
And it shall be unto you for a fringe, that ye may look upon it, and remember all the commandments of the Most High, and do them.
Right, that's why we have fringes. I saw an Israelite online that said, "Oh, those fringes are devil fringes." What you mean? It's in the Bible. How is it devil fringes? What are you talking about?
And just to add to that, it was actually a custom in Israel for you to actually use them to literally memorize the Bible
Also, yes.
Which is why sometimes the Pharisees would have more of them.
Right, the fringes also can be used as beads to literally start
count
at
how
one
many.
point and count how many times you recite the law. Right? It is, that's what it is.
So you have
And by the way, GYC do not wear the little Jewish things. We don't call them fringes. And we don't know what those are. Because in all the archaeology I've seen fringes like we have. I've never seen the little Jewish tassels. We don't wear those Jewish Amish things. Right? We don't do that. Right? I call them Jewish things. They ain't fringes. The Bible say ribbon of blue. Where you put that ribbon of blue? Like you got a little string of blue. Like the Bible says, then says string of blue. The next one, Exodus 12, verse 26, 27. That's another way to remember the law and the commandment.
And it shall come to pass, when your children shall say unto you, What mean ye by this service? That ye shall say, It is the sacrifice of the Most High of the Lord's Passover, who passed over the house of the children of Israel in Egypt, when he smote the Egyptians, and delivered our houses, and the people bowed their head and worshipped.
Right, so storytelling. You have to always be telling the children the stories of what happened. Right? Take your time and tell them. And also, the more you engage in those things, you also remembering yourself. Right? That's how you not forget. By teaching other people, you will not forget. By teaching your children, you will not forget. If you're a parent, take your time every night. Give bedtime stories about what the Most High did. It's your job. Right? You have to tell them about those things. Okay? That they don't forget what the Most High have done. Get me the next one. Deuteronomy 33 and 8. There's so many ways we're not going to forget the law and the commandments. Just now we have to not forget. How to not forget. Go ahead. Deuteronomy 38, verse 8.
Deuteronomy chapter
33, verse 8. 33, verse 8.
Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 8.
Go ahead.
And of Levi, he said, Let thy Tumim and thy Urim be with thy Holy One, whom thou didst prove at Massa, and with whom thou didst strive at the waters of Meribah.
Read on.
Who said unto his father and to his mother, I have not seen him, neither did he acknowledge his brethren, nor knew his own children, for they have observed thy word and kept thy covenant.
Read on.
They shall teach Jacob thy judgment, and Israel thy law.
So the Levites are responsible to teach the law and thy judgments. That's who the Most High ordained for that. Read on.
They shall put incense before thee, and hold burnt sacrifice upon thine altar.
That's right. It's the job of the Levites. So another way to memorize scriptures is to listen to the teaching of the Levites. The Levites will instruct you properly to make sure that you don't forget. That's why we hear every Shabbat, teaching you the laws and the commandments, right?
Let's get Deuteronomy 31:9 real quick. The book of Deuteronomy chapter 31 verse 9. And Moses wrote this law and delivered it unto the priests, the sons of Levi, which bear the ark of the covenant, and unto all the elders of Israel.
Right. So the Levites are the one that will be teaching you, reminding you, keeping you in check to make sure that you keep this law. That's another way we will not forget, is to be around the Levites.
Right.
Because that's their job, for them to remind you every time.
Right. And also, as you can see, the elders of the tribes, this is your responsibility to pass it down.
Right.
Why was it also given to the elders of the tribes? Because that way it's not just staying in one tribe, all the tribes also get to pass the word down.
Come.
You know, it's your responsibility to teach.
You got me another one, Ecclesiasticus 6:35. So the next way, so we go to the Levites, then the next way is to be part of righteous discourse. Right? Ecclesiasticus 6:35 through 37.
Let's go to the Apocrypha and read the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 6, verse 35.
This is another way, and one of the best way you're not gonna forget.
The book of Ecclesiasticus, the book of Sirach, chapter 6, verse 35.
Read on.
Be willing to hear every godly discourse.
Be willing to what?
Be willing to hear every godly discourse.
Meaning when you're in your car, instead of watching Fetty Wap, you understand? Or listening to him.
What's Fetty Wap?
I don't know what Fetty.
I don't even know.
It's a rapper, right? Okay. I knew I heard that somewhere. Right? Instead of listening to Lil Wayne and Nicki Minaj.
Okay, yeah, I know them too.
Right? Instead of doing that, the Bible say put a godly discourse about the Israelite talking. Put one of GYC lessons. Right? And if there's a call, it Bible study, be the first one on there. You understand? This is how you're not gonna forget, because constantly you're listening to the same thing. Right? Just like if you're in a room full of people making ice cream every day, even if you're not here to learn, but you'll pick up one thing or two.
And then they say you hang around the barbershop long enough, you're going to get a haircut. I mean, if you really talk about the Bible long enough, one day you're going to learn more than John 3:16.
Come. So be part of every godly discourse. Read on. Keep reading where it says every godly discourse. We're in 35.
36. Oh, actually, yeah, it's on 35. Be willing to hear every godly discourse, and let not the parables of understanding escape thee.
Meaning when something deep drop, like go meditate on that. Right? Go dig it. Read on.
And if thou seest a man of understanding, get thee betimes unto him, and let thy foot win the steps of his door.
So the Bible says, if you see there's a man of understanding, wake up early. Go to his house. I have a question, man.
Teach me something.
Tell me something. You understand? This is how you're going to keep remembering, because you're about it.
But remember one of the things I always say, one of the things with our people, everybody is right in his own eyes and nobody cares. Right. But if you're in the truth, you see someone, a man of understanding, you're going to want to know what he knows. Hey, talk to me. I want to hear everything. Tell me. You know, and I think the same story when I was listening to Michael Jordan. He was saying when Kobe Bryant was first starting, like he would call him every day, like, tell me, I need to know. And ultimately, he became one of the greatest.
Right.
Because he know that Michael Jordan knew something that he didn't know. So every single day even Michael Jordan said, at one point I got tired of this kid calling me all the time. Talk to me, I need to know. And he really, really wanted to know everything. So that's a powerful verse right there.
Right. So basically another thing too, what stops people from doing that is pride. They think they know everything. You don't know everything, man. Don't be prideful. Always listen to godly discourse. If someone's bringing a wisdom to you, pay attention. Listen to what's being said. Right? Read on.
Verse 36. Verse 37. Let thine mind be upon the ordinances of the Most High, and meditate continually in his commandments.
Right. So that's come also with the beads. That's how it's gonna help you continue. Even when you're not doing the beads, because you've been doing it for so long, your mind's gonna stay on that. That's how you keep your mind on the commandments. So I hope you guys get your beads. Right? And that really gonna help your mind stay on the commandments all day. Meditate on that. Right? Read on.
He shall establish thine heart and give thee wisdom at thine own desire.
You see that? Once you start doing that, then you're gonna see the level of wisdom you're gonna get will increase all of a sudden. Once you start having that meditation, being part of godly discourse, wearing your fringes, meditating, surrounding your environment with the commitment, then that's when you start getting wisdom. That's why we said earlier, if you're not a forgetful hearer, then there'll be blessings. Then you will start seeing, things, all the problem situations you have, you'll know how to deal with everything. The Most High gonna start blessing your business, everything gonna start working out for you because now wisdom gonna start increasing. So we're giving you the key to progress. We're giving you the key to move forward and be great in this truth. Right? So get me a Proverbs 27.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 27, verse 17. It says, iron sharpen iron. So a man sharpeneth the countenance of his friend.
That's right. Another way to learn the scriptures, to continue, is to have a partner in this truth. Right? Iron sharpen iron. Could be your wife, could be your husband for women, could be brothers. Like we have soldier class, where we come, we do the sharpening. I think you have to partake in those classes.
And on the real, I think the sisters, you gotta have a class like this, because the soldier class is no joke. Once you come in there, scriptures flying like bullets. So you sisters, you gotta have something like that to sharpen your skills. I don't know, maybe that's something operation can coordinate. That really, it helps you, because it's not just like here in the congregation, you hear a lesson and you go home and it's done. But throughout the week, you're thinking of the Bible, you're thinking of scriptures, how to defend yourselves. There's going to be that one time a Jehovah's Witness pull up to your house, and you don't want to be the one that's not inviting them in. You have to let them in. Come in, give them water, give them drinks.
Right.
So they can flee in 2 minutes. Right? So
and no, don't let them flee. Lock the door, man. As soon as they walk in, put a security guard at the door. You ain't going. You're going to get that truth. So that being said, like iron sharpen iron. So that means what? Like when we go to soldier class, there's so many new things we discover, we study. We didn't see it that way. Brother saw it that way. You understand? New verses we're learning. Because the more you fronting with somebody else, the more you're learning. So don't choose that work for yourself. Find a brother or sister that you're comfortable with and just go grind. And if you can create that group too, that we can sharpen. Because ultimately the responsibility for you to know the truth is you. I'm not. I'm here to teach you. I can know it for you. I can believe it for you. You have to believe. You have to know. If you can't memorize after this lesson, I hope you literally take this lesson and apply them point by point. What we said, so that can help you. I want to go to your house and I see your house is full with the commandments. Thou shalt not steal. This law and that law, that verse and that verse. Your house you got to create the environment for you to not forget the law.
Also, one of the things, if you find yourself saying, man, I used to know that verse, that's a problem.
You're getting young.
Or you just haven't practiced.
Right, that's true.
One of the things that I've heard is the brain is constantly trying to forget things it remembered. Like that's all it does. It's like, how do I delete some information? It's always trying to optimize. So therefore, whatever you think you learned 10 years ago, your brain is trying to delete all those information. But how do you keep them there is to continually practice and rehearse.
Right. So there's another way to rehearse too. Is that's my own input. So you can pair scriptures. Meaning when you're studying, don't just study one scripture. Study two scriptures that match, right? You could say John 3:16, for the most I love the world, and you pair it with Isaiah 45:17, right? World without ends. So what do you do here? You kill two birds with one stone. So you pair scriptures. Find two scriptures that say about the same thing or that speak against each other, and then you learn those together. Right?
And I think what you just brought out is so wonderful. That's one of the things that I do. Either I do the similar verse, for example, like you brought out James 1:25, and then you can look at Romans chapter 1:25. Both of them are very, very important verses. But if you know Romans 1:25, I think it says, who changed the truth into a lie? Then you're going to remember, oh, there's a verse. Even though it's not exactly the same, but it's 1:25. That's a similarity. Right. Another thing, for example, John chapter 8:32, Deuteronomy 32 verse 8. like I'm never gonna forget those verses.
Right.
So there's different ways to study, but comparing and if they're similar or it's the reverse of that, that can help you remember.
Well,
At least
John
for me, it works.
3:16, Colossians 3:16. So those are verses that I use to memorize. Get me the book of Proverbs 4, verse 4 and 5.
Let's get the book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 5.
Verse 4 to 6. All the way to 6. 4 to 6.
Proverbs 4, verse 4, right?
Yeah, 4 and 4,
Okay.
and 5 and
The
6.
book of Proverbs, chapter 4, verse 4.
Read on.
He taught me also and said unto me, let thine heart retain my words, keep my commandments, and live.
Right. Let your heart retain the word, meaning remember the word, keep my commandment, and live.
Get
Read on.
wisdom, get understanding. Forget it not.
Forget what?
Forget it not.
Don't forget it. That's the whole point of today. Read on.
Neither decline from the words of my mouth.
Don't refuse the word. Read on.
Forsake her not, and forsake her not, and she shall preserve thee. Love her, and she shall keep thee.
So if you love wisdom and understanding, right, then guess what? Read verse 7, actually. I like that.
Wisdom is the principal thing. Therefore, get wisdom, and with all thine getting, get understanding.
With all that you can buy. If you find a book that have wisdom, don't be like, I ain't buying that book. Like, with all that getting, get wisdom. This is what we lack in Israel. The game of life, it's about who's wiser and who's craftier and who got more knowledge.
As a people, we don't have the ability to have that foresight to think, and we need to acquire what he say, wisdom, understanding, know yourself, know your enemy, plan ahead, and you'll see we will never be conquered.
And guess what? The Most High telling you the key. If you focus on the Lord, then the Most High start giving you massive wisdom and understanding. And this is what we like. This is why we keep losing. Because somebody that know better than you will do better than you. So if we want to elevate, if we want to move to a new serious direction, to really help ourselves and get out of this situation, we got to get wisdom with all our gettings. Right? So on that, all praise to the Most High, Ba'ashem Yahushai. May the Most High be blessed forever. Hallelujah.